Alright, hello everyone. Halo here today with something not Halo related for once. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Assassin's Creed Ezio figure. Now the first thing I'm going to get into is this figure is amazing. No matter what you put up against it, it's probably going to beat it. The reason I say this is because this thing is highly detailed. You know, other than going and buying a Hot Toys figure for $110, I mean, not many people are going to go and do that for Ezio, you know, unless you're a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I mean, totally, you know, you might really want that, but for basically the same detail and for basically the same thing, for $13, you can get him. This guy's from NECA and is just amazing. The reason he's amazing is because of his detail. Now, this is when my camera really kicks in, and hopefully it doesn't mess around that much, which it looks like it might. But if you can see just a little bit, there we go. It has nice little birds. It's nice and detailed all the way down. Look at that. You can't, there's no painting marks. This looks like real fabric. I mean, just no flaws at all. Look at it. I mean, you can hardly, you can see the joints, but don't really matter. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, the nice blade look, nice fabric look, and it keeps going on. I mean, even the little detail up here, the little things, even the little necklace in there, you know, just a ton of detail. I'm going to flip them around real quickly. Same amount of detail back here. It has a nice little fabric feel right here. So cape is movable. Don't really worry about it breaking too much, unless you really want to pull it out. Then it's probably the only way you're gonna rip it. But right here, there's also some more more details. You have some more details right here. Nice little red cloth actually. That also moves and is not highly rippable. He has some nice little pouches up here, and the nice little red kind of velvet looking stripes that he has on the front too. On the front here, he has the little Assassin's Creed symbol, or I forget what it's called. Sorry, I had Assassin's Creed too, but haven't played it in a long time. He doesn't have the knives because he doesn't really have knives in the first one, and he does have knives. There's two different Assassin's Creed figures on the market right now. There's this one, and then there's a Master Assassin, which is all black, and he has knives right here. Now, as you can see, he does have two blades. Now, I have a problem with one of the blades, actually both of them. The first problem here is, this is removable. I don't have a huge problem with it being removable, and it does stay in pretty nicely, but it's annoying to get back in. As you can see, if you lost where you put it in, I kind of know how to put it in now, but if you forget how to put it in, there's no instructions, so it's really hard to find out. But for the most part, I figured it out, so it is a little bit easier. But since you don't have instructions and everything, it's a little hard. Over here was my major problem. They're like, yeah, there's also a retractable one. Look at this. You have to push that in to even get closely in. And really, it's a pain because you try not bending it, and you don't know how far it can actually go in. And then, you don't want to break it and everything, so you can just kind of leave it alone. And then also, you have to kind of bend it a little bit to just pull it out. And you're really trying not to bend it. It's really hard to see what I'm doing here because of, it's very slim and everything, but I'm trying to pull it out right now, and I don't know how much more I got left. But look at that! Just from pulling it out, it's now bent. It bent, So now I have to try making it flat again, and that was the real annoying part about this. Now for articulation, his arm moves up and down, left and right. Right here, his elbow moves up and down. Kind of stiff. Most of the joints are stiff on NECA figures. I don't know why they do that, but they're really stiff. You can barely move it up. So odds are you're just probably gonna be bending it a little bit like this, and probably having his hand like this. So you still get a pretty good thing. Same thing over here. Moves up and down, left and right, and also he has a little joint right here which can move up, so you can kind of be Hi there, give me a hug with these 2 giant knives, and then I'll stab you in the throat. Anyways, the one issue I had with this figure is not I don't think he has torso movement. Oh yeah, he has torso movement. But that wasn't my issue. My issue is he has joints in his knee right here, but that's all the bend you're gonna get out of this knee. I mean, it's really hard to see right now. That's all the bend you're gonna get. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still cool that they still feature it, but they're making this big deal about we have 23 points of articulation, and you can barely move the leg. And also another thing was this, right here. They added articulation, 1 second, real quickly. If my camera, I don't know why it's doing this right now. Sorry about this. Alright, there we go. Let's get in the way now. Alright, you can kind of see it a little bit, but right here, look at it. It moves up and down that much. You're not getting much to ankle articulation going up and down. That was one of my main issues. But you do get quite a bit of movement in the ankle. So sorry about that. Going left and right. Now, also, he can spread his legs somewhat far. He can also go up and down a little bit. I mean, the fabric kind of gets in the way of it a little bit. So you're looking more at a posable figure. I mean, it's very nicely posable though, because you can pose it a ton. I mean, there's no really flaws. One of my favorite poses of this whole figure, and they give you a few poses that you can do on the cover, but that's my favorite. He has his head nice and down, can't see his face, and he has the 2 blades just kind of out there, and very nice. But what I will say this: when you do get this in, you have no chance of it falling out. I mean, I'm jerking it pretty hard there. It's not falling out. I don't know how they got it to do that, but it's not falling out. Now, one last thing here is, yes, his head does move, and when it moves, you can see an eyeball, and you can see his nice little scars on his face, and just really nice skin color on this guy. But you can see one eye. His other eye is always going to be covered up, but you can always just put it down like this, and his eye's still there. But, I mean, really, if you're looking at a different angle, like from far away, you can't see the eye, and it's just really cool. I mean, they might have added another eye. 1 second. Yeah, he has 2 eyes. He has 2 eyes, but they're really hard to see because the second cloth is covering it. So I'm really sorry if you can't see that. You can kind of see it a little bit, but it does have 2 eyes, but they really make the right eye really noticeable. So overall, this figure is amazing. Definitely worth buying if you're really a big Assassin's Creed fan. You know, there are 2 of them, and I mean, I really love this guy. Now, one of the reasons I'm kind of critical on this right here is because I don't like bending the blade and everything, and I don't want to move it too much, and it makes me kind of feel like, it makes it feel risky to move it in and out. And in the last figure that they made, they had a little thing right here that you could push up, and it would retract the blade in. I thought that was a lot better. If you give me like 1 second here, I can probably get it for you guys, and hopefully I can actually. 1 second. Right here we go. Okay, so here's the original Assassin's Creed figure with the Altair, but right here he had the little thing, and you could just push it and retract. That is what I'm talking about when I think that was a lot smarter of an idea. But yet again, I mean, I think this one has to be the same size as this. I mean, you're pretty much looking at the same size figure, so I'm not really seeing why they couldn't have, except maybe the belt buckles that he has and that he doesn't have going around his blade. So that is about it for this figure. He comes with, like I said, the blade that you can pull out, and the retractable blade. That was my main issue though, was the retractable blade. High detail all around, no matter where you kind of look, there's high detail. Definitely recommend it. You can probably make some pretty cool poses for this guy. A main Assassin's Creed figure, not one that you want to pass up, especially for $13. This one's going to pick up value after a while. So, stay puffed. Sorry, Hey there, viewer, saying see ya.